since this platform only allows very few students, I'm going to reshare. There is a link I'm going to reshare. This link will direct you to this class, also to this class through this Google Meet platform, and also at the same time to the YouTube platform, so that we can accommodate all the students. I understand you are so many, and by the way, today I was supposed to come there for a physical class, but it's unfortunate that I was having a meeting that I could not avoid, and that's why I was unable to be there physically. But I promise you, by next week, Wednesday, I'll be available for the physical lesson. Otherwise, my name is Dr. Precious Wapukha. I'm a lecturer of history. My specialization is in history. My undergraduate is in history. My master's is in history, and my PhD is in history. So basically, you are in safe hands. So allow me, yes? Allow me to share with your class rep the link, so that he can share with you he can share with you. Just a minute, it's here. So thank you, and sorry for that. Direct to the course title. Today, the course title for this semester, first semester, is Sources of African History. Sources of African History, that is the course title. Under this course title, Sources of African History, the course purpose of this, is to introduce. The course purpose is to introduce students to various ways in which historians acquire information concerning the past. It introduces students to various ways in which historians acquire information about the past events. So this course has the following objective. By the end of the course, students should be able to outline the role of archaeology and paleontology as a source of history. Another objective is that by the end of this course, the learner should be able to assess the role of historical linguistics as a source of history. The next objective is that by the end of this lesson, the student or the learner should be able to describe the role of written materials as a source of history. And lastly, by the end of this course, the learner should be able to explain the role of electronic materials, oral traditions, anthropology, genetics as a source of information. Are we together up to there? Now, having mentioned about the course objectives, very quickly, I'll delve into the main topics that we shall focus in this unit. The first topic is definition of history. Definition of history. Under the topic definition of history, we shall focus on various issues concerning definition of history. Number one, we shall conceptualize. We shall conceptualize the term history. The first subtopic under definition of history is that we shall conceptualize the term history. Number two, we shall delve into understanding the scopes of history. We shall delve into understanding the scopes of history. Then lastly, under this topic, definition of history, is that we shall delve in understanding the importance or vitality of history. We shall delve into understanding the importance or vitality of history. Now, from definition of history, I'm just explaining this first topic. Under definition of history, conceptualization of the term history is whereby we shall focus on analyzing definition of history based on various scholarly works. Here, we shall focus on scholars such as Collingwood, how he defined history, and many others. Under definition of history, under scope, scope is whereby we shall look at the boundaries of history, the extent to which history is important to various subjects. For example, how history is important in the field of medicine, whereby when you go to the hospital, they have to take in your medical history. In this section of scope, again, we shall focus on how there is interwovenness between history and other subjects. For example, in religion, we have the history of religion. That is the scope of history. In geography, we have the history of geography. For political science is an aspect of history, whereby we have political history. So there is intersectionality, there is interwovenness between history and political science. We also have interwovenness between history and so many other subjects like physics, whereby you have to critically analyze the history of innovators for you to understand the trends of innovation. So under the scope is whereby we analyze how history has an interdisciplinary relationship with other subjects, such as political science, geography, chemistry, name them. And in the same topic, we shall focus on importance of history or the vitality of history. I know most of you know the importance of history, but now we shall delve deeper in understanding how history is pertinent to the students, how history is pertinent to the society, how history is pertinent also to the global society and local society. Topic number two that we shall focus on is archaeology as a source of information. 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 And archaeology as a source of information. We shall focus on important thematic areas of archaeology. Number one is definition of archaeology, strengths of archaeology, then weaknesses of archaeology, and finally, how archaeology can be used to reconstruct African history. Under definition of archaeology, we shall define the importance of archaeology. We shall define archaeology as a source of information. And by defining archaeology, we will delve into important tenets of archaeology, important tenets such as artifacts, such as monuments, and so many other tenets that are useful in terms of reconstructing the past. And remember, as much as archaeology is important in terms of unraveling information concerning the past, it also has the weaknesses. So we shall also understand some of the weaknesses that affect archaeologists in the process of acquiring information. And further, we shall unearth how archaeology can utilize artifacts, can utilize the remnants, the material remains in reconstructing the culture of the past society, in reconstructing activities of the past society, whether it's a funeral activity, whether it's any other activity that touches on human beings, whether it's economic activity, political activity. Archaeology can suitably unravel such important cultural events in the society. The next topic will be historical linguistic. Under historical linguistic, the trend will follow suit, just like the one in archaeology, whereby we shall focus on definition of historical linguistic, whereby we shall be defining the meaning of historical linguistic and analyzing a specific aspects that deals with linguistics, aspects such as language and how to use language in unraveling important information of the African culture. Number two, we shall focus on the strength of historical linguistics. What are the importance of utilizing linguistic as a source of information? Are we able to preserve culture? Are we able to reach the grassroots communities through historical linguistics? So those are the important perspectives that we shall analyze in assessing the strength of historical linguistics. Apart from that, we shall look into some of the weaknesses of historical linguistics. What are these weaknesses that the researchers may encounter in the process of utilizing language as a way of acquiring information? Under these weaknesses, you'll come into contact with weaknesses such as language barrier. Another thing is that you'll realize that there is a weakness in terms of translating language. For example, you're doing research among the Agikuyu. It might be very difficult for you to translate the information from Agikuyu to English because of maybe language barrier. And apart from that, there's also risk of omission when translating this language. And also, some words may have different meaning compared to what you understand. So, basically, those are some of the challenges we shall interact with. And again, lastly, we shall rethink on ways in which linguists and historical linguists can use this method to reconstruct the past. Is it true that maybe we can get information about a certain community and reconstruct about their culture effectively? Is it possible? Can it be possible? Can it be objective as historian? Those are some of the questions you will be answering as we analyze how we can utilize historical linguistics to reconstruct the African history. Then we shall focus on, again, anthropology as a source of information. Anthropology as a source of information. Under anthropology, we shall delve into understanding what is anthropology, the definition of anthropology. How long does it take for someone to term an activity as an anthropological activity? For how long? Is it one day? Is it 2 weeks? But basically, for a session to be termed as anthropological activity or session, it takes at least more than 6 months. For example, you want to acquire information about the Maasai community. You'll have to live among the Maasai for at least 6 months, whereby you interact with the community directly through observation, through recording of the activities taking place, cultural activities. By doing so, after 6 months, we term it as an anthropological session or activity. Number 2, under anthropology, the subtopic is that we shall focus on what are the strengths of using anthropology as a source of information. In this subtopic, you shall delve in understanding how the use of anthropology enhances reconstruction of history, whereby we shall focus on we shall focus on aspects such as direct observation of cultural practices through anthropological execution. We shall also notice that you are able to record the event the way it is. And with the new technology, it is very handy in terms of enhancing the objectivity of anthropological activities. The second last subtopic under anthropology, we shall focus on the weaknesses. What are these challenges? Or what are the challenges that anthropologists encounter in the process of utilizing data collection through the said method? some of the weaknesses they encounter encompasses challenges of language barrier, challenges of adjusting to the climatic and environmental suitability of a society. Sometimes it is very expensive to stay in a community for so many months without a stable source of income. So, Job and your girlfriend, we don't need to see you. We are in a class, kindly. I'm going to remove you from my class. Great. Now, as I was saying, sorry for that. I'm very sorry. Now, as I was saying, I was talking about anthropology and the weaknesses. You'll realize that we have some challenges that anthropologists face. Challenges ranging from very expensive to live among the community for 6 months. Sometimes it might be very difficult for an anthropologist to adjust and also to adjust the environment and also the climate. So the climate can be quite harsh for the anthropologist. To some extent, the anthropologist can be even health-wise affected by the climate. For example, in Kenya, you'll realize that sometimes we experience avalanche of visitors from the UK to Kenya, where they stay for 6 months doing their anthropological work. Most of them suffer from malaria, which is quite unfortunate. And one thing you need to know is that malaria is not in these developed nations. Most of the time, this is a tropical disease that is in tropical areas such as Kenya. So it can be a very challengeful mission, and also the issue of language, it can be very tricky for you to understand, and therefore these weaknesses can affect your anthropological activities. However, you can still counter them through the use of translators, or sorry, not translators, but interpreters. The next topic we shall delve into, before I delve into the next topic, under anthropology, we shall also focus on how anthropologists reconstruct African history. How anthropologists reconstruct African history. This is whereby we will delve into understanding how we can reconstruct history with the use of anthropology, how we can reconstruct the past by utilizing anthropology. The next topic will be oral tradition. Oral tradition. Under oral tradition, we shall focus on defining what is oral tradition. Defining what is oral tradition. I know all of you have ever engaged in storytelling, whether in school or at home. Maybe you have been told stories with your grandmother. Stories, songs, all these tenets are part of oral tradition as a source of information. So we shall delve into that, and more specifically, we shall unravel the utilization of oral tradition in passing important historical information from one generation to another. We shall also delve into understanding the strength of historical linguists, the strength of oral tradition, We shall also delve in understanding the strength of oral tradition. Under the strength of all oral tradition, we shall unearth how this oral tradition is pertinent in our society. How is it utilized in preservation of past histories? How oral tradition is utilized in passing information from one generation to another. The next subtopic is that we shall evaluate the weaknesses of oral tradition. What are the weaknesses of oral tradition? Sometimes when we pass information by word of mouth, there is risk of forgetting information, important information. There is risk of forgetting important information. There is risk of omitting important information. So, and lastly, not lastly, but under sources of information, we shall also focus on how historians utilize oral tradition in reconstructing the past. I think I've mentioned that. If I have not, kindly note down how historians utilize oral tradition in reconstructing the past. Then the next topic is the ancient evidence of African history. The ancient evidence of African history. Ancient evidence of African history. Under this, we shall focus on the following subtopics. We shall focus on Arabic sources. Arabic sources. Under Arabic sources, we shall delve into definition of Arabic sources. Definition of Arabic sources. Strengths of Arabic sources. Weaknesses of Arabic sources. How Arabic sources can be used to reconstruct African history. How Arabic sources can be used to reconstruct African history. Then another topic that we shall delve into is European documents. European documents. Under European documents, we shall focus on definition of European documents. Definition of European documents. The strength of European documents. The strength of European documents. Weaknesses of European documents. How historical European documents can be used to reconstruct African history. And the last topic that shall delve into is electronic sources of information stroke AI as a source of information. Electronic source of information stroke AI as a source of information in history. Electronic source of information stroke AI as a source of information in history. Under this electronic source of information, we shall analyze various electronic equipments that are pertinent in terms of provision of information about the past and preservation of information about the past. For example, we have electronic source of information. We have the laptops, we have the phones, we have also laptops, phones, and so many other electronic gadgets that we shall delve into in analyzing. In terms of AI as a source of information, AI is a contemporary issue in the historical discipline. So we shall critically analyze how AI is pertinent in analyzing the past events, how AI can be leveraged in unraveling the past events and also assessing the objectivity of past events. At the same breath, we shall also assess and analyze the objectivity of AI in terms of speaking to the past. Is AI really objective in terms of presenting the African histories? Is it true to say that AI is a form of neocolonialism, digital neocolonialism? Is it true to say that AI can misrepresent the African histories? Is it true to say that AI can unravel the Eurocentric tendencies about Africa? So basically, that will be our course outline for this semester. And I'd like to request you people to cooperate and also to participate effectively in this class so that it can be successful and also for the purpose of attaining objectives for this course. Up to there, any question? Any question? Any question, class? Any question? I can't hear you, sorry. I can't hear you, Winnie. I can't hear you. Sorry, I can't hear you. Also, phones, and so many other. Winnie, I can't hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear Winnie. Anyone with a question or a comment, Bethwell? Any comment or any question? Anyone? Okay. If there is no question, yes, Kai.
Thank you very important.
Okay, most welcome. Okay, guys, thank you also for joining within a short period of time. I'll give you an assignment when we meet on Wednesday. And please, when I request for online, let it be online. And you can see you are still listening to me. You are able to understand what I'm teaching. There is no difference. The only difference is that you'll not be able to see me physically. But in terms of knowledge, you'll gain knowledge a lot from me. And on Wednesday, I'll come and teach you guys physically at University of Eldoret. I would like to tell you that by 28th, I'd like to maybe inform you I'll be outside the country for 2 weeks. But during those 2 weeks, I'll give you an assignment for you to keep yourself busy. I'll give you an assignment, and the assignments that I'll give you will also be part of your CAT. And I hope you guys will work as a group effectively. Otherwise, thank you for fast learners, and you're able to use even this platform. I really appreciate. And guys, have a good day.
Majamaa hii darasa bana. Aro. Imedu. Umbwa. Majamaa mpotea sasa. Ziko kwenye mvua. Kila kuingia ndani. Nilipoe. I just